I think AI overall, though, is far bigger than people realize. People are scared of it. There's so much fear of like, I'm gonna lose my job. The robots are gonna kill us. And that provenance moment of truth is about to come very handy because AI is about to make a lot of fake stuff. There's already videos of me on the internet of me saying things in my voice that I didn't say. I'm thinking about becoming a music artist. I think I can be good at music. One problem, I can't sing for shit, I'm not musical. It's pendulum swings. Technology in, technology out, and I think I will use AI to actually make hit music. I really believe that before I'm done. I would argue food styling and commercials is more fucking AI than AI. I haven't seen a fucking Whopper in my life that looks like the ones on TV. I think that this is a demonization of modern technology that is a misnomer of human behavior. There will be incredible room for originally created human art, but there will be incredible room for generative art.
So I haven't had a full conversation with anybody yet this week on the record about AI. I figure you are a good person to pick their brain on around AI and less about where it's going to go in marketing and advertising, but more how consumers are overall going to feel about it and general society, because I think you have generally been smart about how you think about the future. And so I want to start with actually looking back for a moment. You know, you made a huge bet on NFTs and eventually morphed it into Vayner 3. As you saw the NFT market change and how society feels about metaverse and all that change over time. So I'm curious what lessons you learned from that, knowing that AI is also the next big thing. And I know they're different because that was a platform and this is a societally changing technology potentially.
No, it's a very smart question. No, I think you're right.
Similarities.
It's interesting, like if you look back at my content on Web3 and specifically NFTs, and you gotta dissect it, and I think the same thing's gonna happen with AI. You're gonna appreciate this. In a world where everything is headline reading, I'm sure that, actually, I need to start asking more journalists like how they feel about most people just reading their headline and not their actual work. So let's break it down. I'll go backwards and I'll go forwards. Backwards, so much of our biggest point of view was that metaverse wasn't real, that there was nobody actually there, back to day trading attention. Comma, blockchain was a profound technology. I think blockchain's relationship with AI and deepfake videos is gonna be a really interesting conversation over the next 10 years. 3, my biggest point of view is that 99% of NFTs were gonna go to zero, and that the 1% would be meaningful collectibles like trading cards and comic books and sneakers. Biggest learnings that I apply to where we're gonna go with AI. 1, they are different because the NFT was an individual form factor on top of a technology. That was also based on collectible speculation, which created so much of the radical ups and downs. AI is oxygen. It's such a profound, overwhelming technology, but I think the parallels will be similar. For Madison Avenue, I think the biggest observation is that Madison Avenue is very different than Silicon Valley. So I think the depth of conversation at AI at the conference has been really interesting. It's by far the buzziest word. I think back to what I focus on with it, which is about like today. I think the biggest AI conversation that you know what I was surprised about? Even though it was funny you said earlier, I wasn't surprised, but I was surprised. I'm not surprised, but I'm surprised. The biggest AI conversation currently in marketing is the algorithms of the For You pages of all these social networks. The most significant AI that our industry's feeling is in that environment. Now to consumer. People are scared of it. There's so much fear of like, I'm gonna lose my job. This is bad. The robots are gonna kill us. So there'll be a sector that I think will be similar to electricity when it first came out. Electricity was like incredibly demonized when it was first available to people. The most common belief at the time was there was demons in it, and so you should still use candles. Cool, right? Do you know that? Have you ever heard?
I did not know that.
Google it or ChatGPT it back to the point.
Perplexity it.
Or Perplexity it. So I think that's that's my historical comp that I'm feeling. People are very, very worried about it. I think you'll have a group of that. I think we're already seeing profound profound consumer changes. So I hate using a focus group of one, but boy, did it capture my attention. My 37-year-old brother and co-founder of Vayner, who runs our sports agency now, he doesn't use search anymore at all. 100% of his search behavior is not ChatGPT or Perplexity or things of that nature. So I think you're gonna have an entire generation of Gen Alpha and young Gen Z that is going to potentially, probably Gen Alpha, potentially live in a world where they don't even know what a search engine is the way that, how old are you?
36.
Did you ever use the Yellow Pages?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, you caught it a little bit?
I'm old. Give me some credit.
No, but you're right.
No.
But as you know, if you have a younger sibling under 30, no shot.
Yeah.
There's people 25 that don't even know. When I use the reference, they don't even know.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be the classic thing. I do think I view that, so NFTs was a build on top of a big technology known as blockchain. And that provenance moment of truth is about to come very handy because AI is about to make a lot of fake stuff. There's already videos of me on the internet of me saying things in my voice that I didn't say. So provenance on the blockchain is going to actually become pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I think AI overall though is far bigger than people realize.
Yeah.
And so what do I think? I think you'll have some early users that are going to get a lot of value out of it. You're going to have 50 to 70% incumbents that are going to demonize it, or demonize it because they can't make money on it, or demonize it because they're scared of it.
Yeah.
This one isn't going to be fatty like NFTs.
Yeah.
This one is going to slow build like social media.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in that very unique age range where I started high school where nobody had a phone. I finished high school, everybody had a flip phone. Started college, maybe a few people had a smartphone, and by the time I finished college,
everyone had makes sense. Yeah, it's a funny group.
So in 8 years went from personal phone wasn't a thing unless you were an adult,
to the supercomputer, the iPhone. Yeah.
Whatever you needed in your pocket.
Yeah.
But I want to ask about your point about blockchain. Are you pointing out blockchain and deepfakes from the standpoint of blockchain can track how the progress of something, so we'll be able to verify something is accurate based on how
every video I make, I'm gonna make an NFT, a non-fungible token.
Yeah.
The way everyone knows NFTs right now is a collectible, and the way they know it right this second is a collectible that was fatty.
Yeah.
But NFTs aren't Beanie Babies. Individual projects in NFT land are Beanie Babies. NFTs are stuffed animals.
Yeah.
They will be forever. One of the most important use cases, I think, in the next decade of NFTs is going to be using the blockchain to put your content on, to say all the content that I make about me is here first, then I'm putting it on the internet. So anything that you see that you think is from me, you better go see the provenance, because this is somebody else manipulating what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We've lived in 100 years of believing every video that we've seen is true. We're about to go, just your 8-year analogy, let me use it now as a build. We will go from everybody here sees any video, they believe it's 100% true, to in 8 to 10 years, everybody here is seeing a video and not believing it's true.
Yeah.
That is societally
terrifying.
It is until you say, wait a minute, or the blockchain and then truth. So I agree with you. In the short term, it's whoa.
Yeah.
But this is why I'm kind of very fascinated by the blockchain.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised there hasn't been a ton of deepfakes around the election yet. I mean, I assume we were eventually going to get there, but I guess maybe we're too far away from November. But I'm curious how you see the perception of how societal's perception of generative AI is going to change, because I think we already saw the first bit of it with the Apple ad, where even though it wasn't touting AI, it was crushing art. And I think people view AI as, we don't want it to replace art. So are you optimistic that people are going to put up a fight and save arts and not give in to just, anybody can create any kind of content using AI and that's it?
No. Do you know that everyone thought a canvas piece of art was not art hundreds of years ago? That if you did not do art on an actual building wall, that wasn't real art? There was an incredible fight that art on canvas was fake art. one of my good strengths is history tells me the future. This is my second cool
Yeah, okay.
And you can see how my brain works a little bit. And this is when I see new things like this. I'm like, let me get educated. It's not like I know all this stuff. I do the research, right?
Sure.
And then it becomes part of my life. So I think this industry, actually this is a good parallel to the overall industry. And it's the answer to your question. I believe one of the biggest shortcomings of our industry is that we like or, not and.
Sure.
The answer to your question is and.
Yeah.
There will be incredible room for originally created human art.
Yeah.
But there will be incredible room for generative art.
Yeah.
And the consumer will accept both. You know why? Because they're already consuming both. They're already accepting both.
Yeah.
The world is not the opinions of the artists at this event.
Yeah.
The opinion is of the 8 billion people and how they interact with the art.
Yeah. So, to that point, when something like, let's just talk music. With AI, music is going to become even easier for anybody to figure out how to make. Do you see society pushing in a way where someone who can play a violin at a high skill is going to get pushed out for somebody who can create whatever on their laptop, on their phone, using AI, or do you still see a future in which both of those are going to be equally valued and that we're going to really fight hard to protect human-made art?
I think both will happen. What about house EDM music? What about DJs?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody told us electronic. What about auto-tune?
Yeah.
T-Pain fucking had every hit song for a 3-year window. I'm very bullish on and. I think to your point, like I'm thinking about becoming a music artist. I talk in the way that would work really well for music. I'm very, I'm good for interviews, right? Like it's how my brain works. Analogies, snippets, headlines.
Yeah.
I think I can be good at music. One problem, I can't sing for shit. I'm not musical.
I got that in common with you.
And me.
I can play mean saxophone, can't sing
can you?
a little bit of tune to
Can you?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
So I got nothing.
Yeah.
Other than I think I can write hooks and have bars. and I think I will use AI to actually make hit music. I really believe that before I'm done.
Yeah.
And so will some people say like, what the fuck, fucking Gary V's now? Of course they will.
Yeah.
I could, 93% will. 7% will say like the same thing, is Avicii good? Some people think Avicii's the best.
Yeah.
Other people think that he just took other people's shit.
Yeah.
So is Andy Warhol the best?
Yeah.
At the time he was the worst. Now we think he's the best. Some people think he's the best, some think, and so I'll go back to my and. Yeah. I think that let's talk about technology. I couldn't believe more in social and the phone. Do I believe that now that we've had 15 years of it, that a lot of people enjoy putting their phone in a safe for a week and not being on a phone? I sure do. Yeah. It's pendulum swings.
Yeah.
Technology in, technology out, and so this, look at fashion.
Yeah.
Every 20, 30 years, are we supposed to wear tight jeans or loose jeans?
Yeah.
So that's, I think that's what's gonna happen with music and entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen it to an extent with social media. I mean, if you would have told me 10 years ago that by 2024 I would have pretty much given up sharing any part of my life on social, which is a thing that a lot of people are starting to buy into, I would have said you're crazy, but I think we eventually also just grew tired of sharing our lives constantly.
I lived the life the whole time. People are very confused when I don't think people realize how I played it. I've never shared a single thing about my personal life.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense to me. Why would I want to give up my privacy?
Yeah.
There's nothing more valuable.
Yeah.
My relationships, my family. I'm one of the most prolific content producers of the last 15 years.
Yeah.
With zero of it being about my personal life. So I understand that. So I saw that coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
Putting my children in my content? What if they don't want it?
Yeah.
Putting my relationship so that the world... Didn't anybody see what they do to Brad and Angelina? Like, why are you giving the world... Obviously, we're not all famous, but by the way, when your life is small, when 30, 40 people, your relatives and your friends are your world, their judgment on your relationship is powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's start to bring this a little back to marketing.
Let's do it.
Have you, when you talk with your clients and brands in general,
yes,
have you started to see brands figure out where the line is on where they want to use Gen AI.
One more time, my friend.
Have the brands, your clients, started to draw a line in terms of where the line is on Gen AI? So, for example, Dove. Dove has said, we'll use Gen AI, but we will never generate a human being.
Got it. No, we think that our recommendation to our clients is don't jump out too fast.
Yeah.
That would be like, there was clients, it's buried in history now, that said they would never use influencers. They only believe in real celebrities. No, our conversations with clients, my conversations with clients, are very heavily predicated on the following, which is, you don't need to make an official statement yet.
Sure.
This is very profound technology.
Sure.
Bill Gates said the web was a fad. He's a smart man.
Just a little bit.
You don't need to be out in front. Let's take a beat. And so that has been our recommendation. And I think that's the right thing. It's early.
Yeah.
Ready for this? I'm on the record that's saying Dove, at some point in its consumer brand journey, will make generative people.
Okay.
Because not that I believe that anyone at Unilever is a hypocrite or is stupid or is wrong, but in 27 years, when it's a different regime, and generative AI human content is incredibly important, I don't think that Dove is going to want to give up market share.
Very fair.
I'm sure and by the way, I know that it's well-intended. It actually comes, I think most things are well-intended. 8th place trophies were incredibly well-intended.
Yeah.
But I think looking at history, it's not going to be viewed as a positive thing for kid development.
Yeah.
Dove, talking about real beauty, that's a beautiful, it comes from such a good place.
Yeah.
On the record, I don't see any scenario that in 35 years they haven't done it, because there'll be a competitive disadvantage to a business.
Yeah. I mean, even in instances where, so I was talking to the CEO of, he was CEO of OKRP, and now he's part of Berkeley OKRP, and he said, I have restaurant clients who they'll let us use Gen AI for anything except the food.
100%.
Because they're chefs, they only want to show things their chefs can actually make, and even if they use Gen AI to perfection, nobody made that burger.
Let me take the counterpoint.
Yeah.
Every single commercial that Burger King shows the Whopper looks nothing like the Whoppers I get at Burger King.
That's a good point. Food styling is a thing.
No shit. I would argue food styling and commercials is more fucking AI than AI.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a fucking Whopper in my life that looks like the ones on TV.
Yeah. Do you have a sense with brands that they even have their heads wrapped around Gen AI that well? Because I was talking to Sir John Hegarty earlier today, and I asked him pretty much the same question have you seen brands draw the line? And he goes, well, no. I mean, it's so early days that most of them, I think he said, can't fucking wrap their head around it. Or don't, I forget exactly what he said, but he basically said they don't know what they're doing, it would be irresponsible for them.
As someone who came into this industry and has been in it now for 15 years, I'm so glad that Sir said that, because I've always liked him a lot. Actually, I always have. He's a smart guy, and he's right. That's absolutely my take. I said I think it earlier. Madison Avenue versus Silicon Valley, with all due respect, and this is an incredible community, deep technology knowledge is not what's happening here. Yeah. This is sales and marketing. And so, I don't think they have their heads wrapped around it. And by the way, there's a lot to get through with copyright and trademark law. Yeah. This is probably one of the more conservative stances we've taken as an organization. We want to really understand where the content's coming from, because we have to indemnify our clients. Sure. So I'm are you kidding me? I'm not looking to battle Disney if they claim that the elephant that was made from this was inspired by the Dumbo IP. Yeah. So we got a little ways to go. I think he's right. I think it's early. Again, especially after 4 glasses of rosé at Cannes, people like to pontificate about their knowledge about AI. It's not, this is not the epicenter of AI. Yeah. This is an industry that will be affected by the epicenter, which is the technology sector.
Yeah. You brought up algorithms earlier, and I know we've talked a lot about Gen AI, but with algorithms, it's also a very good point because we've seen how quickly society has fractured, how content has fractured in terms of audience. My TikTok feed is going to be drastically different than yours, drastically different than Harriet's. And so we're losing a sense of community because we're slowly growing into, I'm fans of these people, you're fans of these people. You've no idea who they are.
I would argue that is a false POV in this society right now.
Okay.
Let's take it back pre-social media. You chose to watch Fox and I chose to watch CNN. You chose to read the New York Times and I chose to read Post.
But the options were much fewer.
Yes.
Now there's a million different influencers and 72 may end up in my feed and you might have 2 of the same ones.
Just because the options were fewer. Do you know what the average amount of channels people watched when they had 36 channels to choose from in prime cable era in the 80s? 3. The options were fewer.
Yeah.
But I still didn't watch food TV. I watched ESPN and I watched when the Jets highlights were on and I turned off when the Broncos highlights were on. I think that this is a demonization of modern technology that is a misnomer of human behavior.
Yeah.
The fragmentation has existed forever.
Yeah.
People always read the books they want and read the newspapers and watch the TV and listen to the radio. Yes, to your point, absolutely on fewer options. The misnomer is we didn't take advantage of those fewer options.
I'm not quite, that point's not landing for me.
Please.
You know, if back in, say, the 90s or 80s when you had fewer options and cable TVs first exploding, we saw, amount of people who watch a program far higher than today. So
that
if
is
you
correct.
went into the office,
that is correct.
You likely had a number of people who you could talk to about something.
Yes.
And so what I'm saying is more, it's fragmented so much that I could go in the office and there's no guarantee that any single person in the office,
that I'm a buyer on.
Yeah,
that I'm a buyer
that's
on.
What I was the
I'm a full buyer. I'm a full buyer of that. But I would say the nuance there is that that the genre of it would be within the same realm. Meaning, you may know of a hip hop artist that's emerging that I don't know.
Yeah.
But we may both like hip hop.
Yeah.
Right? And I would actually say the discoverability of that game is real. But to your point, the extreme fragmentation is well taken.
Yeah.
And I'm a very big believer in that. I don't think it's focus groups of one, but we've definitely, to your point, gone to smaller groups of interests.
Yeah.
But and so I think we're gonna find out what that all means.
Yeah.
To your point, we all watched MASH.
Yeah.
Now we all watch humor in 87 pieces of MASH that add up to one MASH.
Yeah.
And to your point that I think you're making is that has the potential to make us not be as connected.
Yeah.
And I think that's real.
Yeah. I know, I get excited when my wife shares a TikTok that I've already seen because it's like almost a shared experience of like, oh, I've already seen this and I can laugh at this already.
Yeah.
Where's I gonna go from there? So do you see a tipping point in which at some point we are all driven back to maybe more communal
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I don't think in the short term at all.
Yeah.
You're 36?
Yeah.
Back to like guessing, I definitely don't know, but if I had to bet the farm, you're like, Gary, I'm sorry, you have to bet.
Yeah.
When you're 68, I think we're still in the very beginning of fragmentation at scale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I do think loneliness is a big concern of mine of fragmentation at scale.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I believe that there is absolute early indicators to that, but I also think that requires human accountability to be more multidimensional.
Yeah.
Like to be more selfless, not selfish. I have my interests, but let me be curious and selfless and open to my friends' interests so that we connect. I'm very fascinated by this convo. Yeah. I spend a lot of time thinking about this. It's actually, by the way, why I think everyone has marketing wrong. Yeah. The idea that you're gonna make a 30-second commercial and you're gonna pump it on television and it's gonna work is fucking delusional in the truth of the world.
Yeah. Final question, because we're pretty much at time here, is just, with streaming TV and the ability to really understand who that person is you're showing, have you guys begun thinking about using AI to create God knows how many versions of that ad to show each person the way you're already doing with your Vayner volume model for social and everything else.
We have, but we do believe it is still a trademark and copyright issue. And we will not go full generative AI over production until there's more this goes back to why I think Dove is well intended, but a little premature. It's early, and we have a lot of things to figure out.
Cool.